So, here we are again for another edition of Joseph and Stuart Review a Beer. Today, we will be reviewing Beer Engineer's Peanut Butter Porter. Obviously a porter, but a rather big one at 12%. Stuart, you've been working with D.B. Irwin, who is the head brewer. You've been kind of assisting him. You want to give us a little bit of a rundown on kind of how he created this and thinking that went into it and whatnot?
DB's idea for this beer basically comes down to the brewery is called Beer Engineers. It should really be Beer Mad Scientists. His ethos is, here's the book that tells me how to brew the beer. Nah. So why do you brew a 12% ABV porter with peanut butter in it? Because you're a mad scientist. So the proof of the pudding is when it is in the bowl, or in this case the glass. So let's see how mad these mad scientists are.
Alright.
Oh, the nut's right there on the nose.
Yeah. Very, very prominent peanut butter smell right up front. Head is, as you can see, very thin, pretty minimal head retention. Laces the glass with, you know, it does pretty well with that. Doesn't really have super cling, but I think it holds pretty well.
Oh, and when it gets in your mouth, masses of chocolate, really intensely chocolatey flavour. Almost no, I don't really get much coffee, if any. It's more,
I don't really get much of any, if that.
Reese's Cup. It's peanut butter and chocolate, and it's not a thick beer. Even though it's 12%, it's not viscous. It's not delicate.
Yeah, it's not even particularly like super sweet. Stuart's right. The body is, I'd say, a medium. Medium body.
It's a medium. It's a body I'd expect of an 8% beer, not a 12% beer. It's surprisingly light for a big beer.
Well, I think that that's kind of in keeping in line with porters. You know, because in a stout, especially one this big, I would expect a much heavier body. And if you look at a lot of the Russian Imperial stouts, you get one that really has hang time on the palate.
What's the difference between a porter and a stout? Well, one label says porter, the other label says stout. It's inherently ambiguous what the difference is between them. What I expect when I see porter is, when I hold it up to light source, I expect to see some very dark ruby red highlights coming through. This isn't ruby red, but it's a nice woody red, so like a red brown. Again, my expectations of a porter is you should get lots of chocolate on the nose and in the mouth. This delivers the nut on the nose, and it delivers a dumper truck of chocolate across the palate. It's quite extraordinary.
Yeah, and it's definitely not like a Jif peanut butter. Not a flavor like that. More, I mean, really like nutty. Not a lot of like sweetness like you'll get in cheaper peanut butters.
It's the kind of peanut butter it tastes like is. There's a certain store which is all about the organic and the nice foods and the foods being whole, where you can grind it yourself, where it's just a hopper full of peanuts, and you flip the lever and it grinds the peanuts into peanut butter, and that's the kind of peanut butter flavour that's coming through on this.
Definitely a dessert beer, either on its own as dessert, or especially with any kind of most any kind of dessert.
Cheesecake, with cheesecake, some sensitive people might need to change their underwear. It's such an awesome pairing.
Yeah, cheesecake would work well. Like a pecan pie would be another ideal. Let's see. what's the name of that pie? Shoe fly pie.
With all those molasses flavors.
Yeah.
So you get the molasses and the peanut and the chocolate. Yeah, we would have to do some research on that, I think.
Yes, market research, of course.
We'll take one for the team.
Yes, we'll get DB to support us on that one. Little scratch.
And just a little comment on the genesis of this particular beer. It was supposed to be in the marketplace. It's going to be hitting the marketplace at end of January 2013. It should have been in the marketplace winter 2012. But the powers that be at the TTB decided they're going to take over 3 months to approve the recipe. Then when they approved the recipe, they disapproved the label. So TTB has mandated that on the label it says ale brewed with natural flavour and natural flavour added. What that means is, because it's not made with peanut butter, but it's made with defatted peanut butter extract, nothing has been added to the peanut butter. All that's been taken away is the fat, because as you know, fat and hypertension are mutually antagonistic.
And also the fat would go rancid after a while.
And the fat would go rancid and sad and nasty and horrible, and we don't want that. So the label says with natural flavours added, and
you might want to explain to people who TTB is and what their importance is.
TTB is the federal agency that takes care of what can and cannot be put on a beer label, and the regulations of what is a beer, what can it be called. There are plenty of beers out there which are American strong ales, but they generally don't say American strong ale on the label, because according to TTB, strong means it's liquor.
Yeah. It's also worth noting that Good People is in the midst of a fight over the coffee oatmeal stout at the moment with TTB. They want him to call it stout with coffee added. So they're going back and forth on that one, which is kind of strange because there are several other beers in the market who are called coffee oatmeal stouts. But I've suggested to Jason, and I think several others have, that everybody refers to it as just Good People COS. So just put COS and be done with it. That's a name.
Mm-hmm. That would work. Yeah. So TTB is kind of this law unto itself, but you can't do anything with brewing beer and getting beer into the marketplace in any form of container. You cannot do anything without TTB's imprimatur. You can't progress, you can't put it in the marketplace. You have to go through TTB. So that's why this is coming out in late winter / early spring 2013 rather than winter 2012.
So there you have it. Beer Engineers Peanut Butter Porter, and a little bit of discussion and a insight into the beer industry and kind of some of the BS that they have to go through to bring great beer to you. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.